Hello everyone, this is your games analyzed number 3. Today we will look at a game played by the YouTube user Assionair. And he was black in this game, and his opponent played d4. He replied with d5, and his opponent played e3. And now he played knight to f6. And now his opponent made an inaccuracy by playing bishop to b5 check. Because now comes c6, gaining a tempo at the bishop, and the bishop goes back to d3. And now black played e6. This move blocks the bishop's diagonal, but black can still play for the central break e5, which would eventually solve the problem of the light squared bishop. Another plan would be to play g6 followed by bishop f5. Now came bishop to d2. Knight f3 would have been a more natural developing move. And now black played c5. This move loses too much time. Better was knight on b to d7 followed by bishop d6 and an eventual e5. Now white played knight to e2, which is a blunder and leads to a tactic. Better was the more natural developing move knight to f3. Can you see the tactic? If you don't see it right away, please pause the video and take a moment to think about it. Alright, I will continue now. The move for black is c4, trapping the bishop. Now white castled and black took the bishop, and white recaptured with the pawn. Now came knight to c6, and after a3, bishop d6, developing the bishop to an active square. And then white played a knight on b to c3, and black just castled. And now white played e4, at least gaining some central control. D takes e4, d takes e4, and bishop c7, wisely avoiding to get forked by e5, and also threatening the d4 pawn. b4, this hangs the d4 pawn, better was bishop to e3. Now came knight takes d4, and after knight takes d4, queen takes d4, white played knight b5, attacking both queen and bishop. This move looks quite good, but it fails due to a tactic. Please pause the video and try to spot the tactic. Alright, I hope you were able to find the correct move. Okay, the correct move is bishop takes h2 check. If king takes h2, then comes queen e5 check for king, king and knight. King g1, queen takes b5. Now in the game, white played the inferior king to h1, and black replied with the correct move queen takes e4, grabbing another pawn and threatening queen to h4. Now white played f3. This move makes things much worse. Better was still king takes h2, which would still be met by queen e5 check, followed by queen takes b5. Now comes queen h4, threatening bishop g3, followed by queen h2 mate. Black is completely lost. In the game, white tried rook to e1. Now black missed a forced mate with knight to h5 and played bishop to g3 check instead. Best was knight to h5, threatening knight g3 mate. And now white can choose between bishop f4 and g3 to prevent this, but both lose immediately. If bishop f4, then comes bishop g3 check, king to g1, knight takes f4, and now the threat of queen h2 check followed by queen h1 mate cannot be stopped, because the knight controls the e2 square. Now if instead, in this position, white plays g3, then comes a classical mating pattern with bishop takes g3 check, king g1, queen h2 check, king f1, and queen f2 mate. But in the game, black chose to play bishop to g3 check, and after king g1 he played queen h2 check, and after king f1 queen h1 check, king e2, queen takes g2 check. Now came king e3 and bishop f2 check, king d3, bishop takes e1, and now white played bishop takes e1. Correct was queen takes e1, because this allows the tactic rook d8 check. Now best for white is knight d4, but white played king to c3, which allows rook takes d1, and after rook takes d1, black played queen takes f3 check, and then came king c2 protecting the rook, and queen c6 check. After king b1, queen takes b5 would be a perfectly good move, because rook d8 can be met by knight to e8, but obviously black missed that and he played h6 to prevent any counterplay along the back rank, and white retreated his knight to d4, and white played queen to a4, and after rook d3, e5, and now white makes a terrible blunder with knight to f5, and black plays bishop takes f5, pinning the rook, and after bishop c3, bishop takes d3 check, king c1, and queen c2 is checkmate. Overall, a good game by black, not so by white. Thanks for watching. If you want me to analyze your game, please send me the PGM. Bye bye.